Imagine a king so powerful he could change the course of a nation with a single command. A monarch whose personal desires reshaped religion, politics, and the very fabric of society. King Henry VIII of England. He was a man of immense contradictions, a scholar, a musician, a formidable athlete, and later a tyrant feared by all. His reign was a spectacle of love, betrayal, and a desperate quest for a male heir. Henry's story is not just political maneuvering, it's a deeply human drama that still fascinates us today. He broke with the Catholic Church, dissolved monasteries, fought wars, and married 6 times. But why does this king still grip our imagination? Because his story is about a man who had everything, yet was driven by insecurity. His obsession with the sun led to discarded wives, executed advisors, and religious upheaval. Henry was both a Renaissance prince and a monstrous tyrant. In this video, we'll explore the final dramatic chapter of Henry's life. We'll uncover the truth behind the gruesome legend of his death, a tale of a decaying body, a lead-lined coffin, and rumors of an exploding corpse. Did Henry's body really burst on its way to his final resting place? Let's journey back to 1547 and separate fact from fiction. When Henry VIII became king at 17, he was the image of a perfect monarch, handsome, athletic, and brilliant. He married Catherine of Aragon, but their failure to produce a male heir haunted him. Desperate for a son, Henry fell for Anne Boleyn, whose ambition and refusal to be just a mistress changed everything. His quest for divorce led to a break with Rome and the birth of the Church of England. Henry seized church lands, became immensely wealthy, and unleashed religious upheaval. His personal life was equally turbulent. 6 marriages, 2 wives executed, and only one son, Edward, who survived infancy. Each marriage was a national crisis, each divorce or execution a political earthquake. Jane Seymour gave him his longed-for son, but died soon after. Anne of Cleves was quickly dismissed. Catherine Howard was executed. Catherine Parr outlived him. Henry's reign was a whirlwind of romance, revolution, and relentless pursuit of legacy. His actions forever changed England's religion, politics, and identity. The drama of his marriages remained central to his fame. But as his personal life unraveled, so did his health and his grip on power. The stage was set for a dramatic and infamous end. By the 1540s, the Golden Prince was gone. Years of excess left Henry obese and immobile, his waist over 50 inches, his weight near 400 pounds. A festering leg ulcer from a jousting accident tormented him, filling his days with pain and his court with the stench of decay. His health collapsed, likely plagued by diabetes, high blood pressure, and other ailments. The once charming king became paranoid and cruel, executing friends and foes alike. The court, once vibrant, became a place of fear and suspicion. Henry's physical misery fueled his legendary rages. In his final years, he was a shadow of his former self, trapped in a failing body, ruling through terror. The king's death was inevitable, but to speak of it was treason. The court waited in anxious silence, knowing the end was near. The mighty monarch was now a prisoner of his own decline. In the winter of 1547, Henry lay dying at Whitehall Palace, his body ravaged by disease. Only a few, including Queen Catherine Parr and Archbishop Thomas Cranmer, were allowed near. Sir Anthony Denny finally told Henry the truth. His end was near. Henry, too weak to rage, accepted it quietly, placing his hope in Christ's mercy. As death approached, he managed a final gesture, squeezing Cranmer's hand to show his faith. On January 28th, Henry VIII died at age 55. His death was kept secret for 3 days to ensure a smooth succession for his 9-year-old son, Edward. The court moved quickly to secure power and announce the new king. The news was met with a mix of grief, relief, and uncertainty. The reign of one of England's most turbulent monarchs was over. Now the challenge was to bury a king whose life and body had grown larger than legend. The funeral would be as monumental as the man himself. But even in death, Henry's story was not finished. A final grisly legend was about to be born. Preparing Henry's body was a monumental task. Embalmed and encased in a massive lead-lined coffin, his remains weighed half a ton. The funeral procession from Whitehall to Windsor was a grand, slow-moving spectacle. Thousands of mourners, torchbearers, and soldiers. The journey took 2 days, the coffin's weight and winter roads making progress difficult. On the first night, The procession stopped at Sion Abbey, a former monastery Henry had dissolved. The king's coffin rested in the ruined church, watched over by guards. It was here, in the eerie silence of the abbey, that the most infamous legend of Henry's death took root. The setting was symbolic. A king who destroyed monasteries now lay in one, awaiting burial. The guards kept vigil, unaware that a story was about to be born that would outlast the king himself. The legend of the exploding coffin began at Sion Abbey. The story is unforgettable. During the night at Sion Abbey, a loud crack echoed from Henry's coffin. Gases from decomposition trapped in the sealed lead casket supposedly caused it to burst at the seams. Horrified attendants found the king's fluids leaking onto the floor, a shocking end for a man obsessed with control. The tale grows darker. A stray dog entered and licked the remains, fulfilling a friar's old prophecy that dogs would lick Henry's blood. This story was first recorded decades later by Nicholas Sanders, a Catholic propagandist eager to paint Henry as a tyrant punished by God. The legend spread quickly, becoming a symbol of divine retribution and the king's moral corruption. For Henry's enemies, it was proof of God's judgment. The image of the exploding coffin became a powerful piece of anti-Tudor propaganda. Over time, the story was embellished, retold, and cemented in popular imagination. Fact or fiction, it became an essential part of Henry's myth. But what really happened at Sion Abbey? Did Henry's coffin really explode? Almost certainly not. The main source, Nicholas Sanders, was a Catholic exile with an agenda to discredit Henry and the Reformation. No contemporary English accounts mention any explosion or disaster at Sion Abbey. Official funeral records describe a solemn, orderly procession. No drama, no disaster. A later account mentions the coffin needed to be soldered again, suggesting a minor leak, not a catastrophic burst. Historians agree the legend is brilliant propaganda, not fact. The story's power lies in its symbolism, Henry's physical decay mirroring his moral corruption. The detail about the dog is especially suspect, tying the tale neatly to a prophecy for dramatic effect. The legend endures because it's a compelling, grim ending for a notorious king. In reality, the truth is far less sensational. While the explosion is likely fiction, science explains why the story seemed plausible. Decomposition produces gases that can build up in a sealed coffin, especially one as large as Henry's. 16th century embalming was primitive, and Henry's size would have accelerated gas buildup. The rough two-day journey could have strained the coffin's seams. A minor leak or split is scientifically possible. Foul-smelling gases and fluids could have escaped. Such an incident would have been shocking and easily exaggerated. Lead coffins bulge and split under pressure. They don't explode dramatically. The legend likely grew from a small, unpleasant event into a tale of divine punishment. Science supports a leak, not an explosion. The real story is less dramatic, but no less revealing. After Sion Abbey, Henry's repaired coffin reached Windsor. On February 16, 1547, he was buried in St. George's Chapel beside Jane Seymour. The grand tomb he planned was never built. His children had other priorities. For centuries, the exact location of his vault was forgotten, rediscovered only in 1813. The lead coffin was immense and damaged, fueling speculation about the old legend. Henry's legacy is as complex as the man, a tyrant and a reformer, a monster and a father of great monarchs. He left England forever changed, stronger, more independent and transformed. The legend of the exploding coffin endures because it captures the excess and drama of his life. It's a story of a king so large in life that even death could not contain him. Fact or fiction, the tale ensures Henry's final chapter is as unforgettable as the rest. In the end, the legend reveals as much about how we remember power as it does about the man himself. Henry VIII remains one of history's most fascinating and fearsome figures. His story and his legend will never be contained.